Yes, my filthy fanatics. Welcome back. Back to our third episode of the week already. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys are not supporting in a week of Thanksgiving to your boy, you know, with your show, with your favorite bro, and how are you not gonna support? So, support your boy, share the word. Let's kick off with the action at hand today, going on live with 11 games at hand on this beautiful Sunday, with 3 being in divisional matchups. First off, let's just kick it off then. We're kicking off in New England, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. I believe Massachusetts, so let's roll with Massachusetts in this matchup between the Colts and the Patriots. And in this one, we have to roll with the Colts in this one. Why? Because 2 weeks ago, the whole locker room seemed like it was absolutely shredded. They're back and forth with Pat McAfee. They're more focused on the outside noise than they are in the building and figuring out what's wrong to go make a playoff push. Their division is gettable. Texans are just up ahead at 6-5. They're at 5-7. That's not too big of a gap that you can't make up, and not too big of a gap that they can't let loose in some of those games remaining. So you got to keep pushing. So for this one, for that playoff push, 2 young quarterbacks, it's going to be a first-time head coach, a rookie head coach against second-year head coach. So young head coaches, young quarterbacks. I think it's going to be run game and defense prevalent. And in run game, I would rather trust that O-line and Jonathan Taylor than I will Ramondre Stevenson and the offensive line of the New England Patriots. So Colts in this one. Let's kick on with this matchup. Steelers at the Bengals. This is a good one, folks. AFC North has not disappointed us recently, and this one I don't think will, disappoint either. Steelers, I think they need to kind of get their mojo back, get their, feet on the ground in the division after losing to the Cleveland Browns. I know it's on the road, but defense travels. And then that offensive line for Joe Burrow on the right side, the side that TJ Watt lines up at, Trent Brown's been out since I want to say week 5, week 6, possibly even week 4. So they have a rookie right tackle going up against TJ Watt. I mean, every phase of the defense for the Steelers, they have superstars. Offensively, now that Russ has came in, they started putting up points. Last couple of weeks, it has not gone offensively as how you would want, but you're also playing in the snow, a lot of factors going up against a first-time quarterback, so you're not going to have everything go perfect. So we'll see what happens. Steelers in this one with Mike Tomlin, however. Let's keep it moving. Los Angeles Chargers going to the ATL to take on Kirk Cousins and his Falcons. This one, however, I have to give it to the Chargers. I know they're in the division, but gotta be respecting of a division full. I think they have it rolling. I think as a team, they're playing as a team, all 3 phases of the game. Defensively, they just look more confident, just more together, even with the new guys like Alohi Gilman being, integrated into that team and stuff. Even with the DBs kind of being in and out of the lineup with injuries and stuff. Even the front 7 with Khalil Mack being out earlier portion of the year. Joey Bosa never being a reliable pass rusher because of his injury history. But Lad McConkey going back to Georgia. Gotta roll with the Chargers in this one. I don't know why. I think they just pull it out. Or maybe Falcons put up so much points at home. Who knows? But still rolling with the Chargers on that one. Seattle going up to New York, East Rutherford, New Jersey, in that terrible stadium, in that sewer, I guess you could call it, because 2 teams both stink. But in this one, we have to roll with the Seattle Seahawks. Why? Because, first of all, what are their Jets? Are they actually a football team? They don't have a GM. They don't have a head coach. Their owner is an ambassador to. So I'm not even going to get into the Jets too much now. Seattle wins this. I think this will be a game for both running backs to kind of show their importance to their team. Both should be, the bell cow running back, but for some reason, the running backs, they have not been, popping out after your, top heavy with your Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs. After that, the play kind of really falls down. Even C-Mac, being hurt this year. So we got to roll with Kenneth Walker in this one. The weapons, Jackson Smith and Jigba, been calling you out this season, bro. Love to see you thriving. Been hoping for this to happen. Been hoping for you to step up to that number 2. I'm glad you're doing that. I hope it goes well. Seattle in this one. Texans at Jaguars. One of the divisional matchups we talked about. This one got to roll with the Texans. Why? Because Jaguars they don't want to play for that first seed, but if they go more towards that first seed, at some point, Doug Peterson has to go. I think the main problem is Trent Baalke, but Jags have a lot more to figure out. Texans, on the other hand, they need to figure out that offensive line. They need to figure out the phases of the team, because they are now looking like the team that should have looked like last year, with a rookie quarterback, with a first-time head coach. Those, momentary plays that even D'Amico hasn't been in yet. He's going to learn from these experiences, but you rode that high of last year with, everything going right. You need to be able to, hold yourself accountable, hold yourself reasonable to float through another season where you're going to have your highs, you're going to have your lows. Just flow through until you get to the playoffs, and that's when you want to play your best ball. And for the Texans, that's what they want to do. So, got to roll with Joe Mixon and the Houston Texans this one. Next one, the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And in this one, this is a sneaky good game. Nobody will really think of this. Everybody's still kind of stuck on are the Cardinals really real? We don't know. But we might find out. However, since it is in Minnesota, the way those fans come out, gotta roll with that home field advantage of school up in Minnesota, and Vikings take this one. I think run game again is going to be highlighted in this game. Aaron Jones on one side, James Conner coming off his well-deserved contract. On the opposite side, both teams kind of trying to make it that playoff push. Vikings need this more because the Packers, the Lions, if you either slip up, Vikings still have a chance to kind of get that home field advantage for the playoffs set for them. So they were going to want to win this for themselves. Same thing that I keep saying for the Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride. Who is going to step up after that? We are going to have to see. Titans at the Commanders in this one. We are rolling with Jen Daniels and Commanders. Titans have an excellent defense. I have nothing else to say about the Titans other than that. Offensively, yes, they beat the Texans last week. That was more of a Texans losing than the Titans winning. But any given Sunday, respect. Buccaneers at the Panthers. We are rolling with the Bucs in this one. Why? First of all, it's a divisional matchup. Secondly, this kind of still gives you implications for the playoffs. Like we talked about for the Colts, the Bucs, they're right there in the mix too. I do believe they're 5-6, 5-7. The divisional leader in there. Falcons are 6-5. It's 1.5 game back. You could always go get that, make it happen. So Bucs are still trying to make that playoff push. Mike Evans being back, we need to still get you that 1,000 Mike Evans. So I hope that still happens. If that doesn't, that's a travesty. Baker versus Bryce, two short quarterbacks. I think that will be very interesting to see. I think this battle is going to go back down to the trenches. Bucky Irving, he's going to have to be a focal point for the Bucs to help open pretty much the whole passing game. Same thing for Chuba Hubbard to keep on doing his thing. Another person who got paid off this year, deservedly so. And then Evans. I think Mike Evans, this is his game in the division. That's when he shows up. That's when, he could be Super Mike. We'll see what happens. Rams at the New Orleans Saints. Excellent matchup. for the new LA Rams, actually, not the New Orleans Saints, because I still don't know what the Saints are. What are they? They're not a running game team. Derek Carr just rejuvenated MVS for the past couple of weeks, but I think they're just on a high, on a euphoria of kind of getting rid of that baggage of Sean Payton. Even after he left, like, Dennis Allen was still his guy. That's still there. Now they might have more energy, like, okay, all of that's gone. Sean Payton's whole thing's gone. All the 2010s kind of getting flushed out now. Now they're finally getting into the 2020s. Interesting to see what happens for them. Rams on the other side, if, as I mentioned, Cardinals do lose, they need to make that push to kind of get back into the top seed. We'll get on to another one of their division opponent late, just in a second. But for them, they need everything to go right. After losing this past Sunday night football game as well, they need to step back up. Derek Carr, I don't know. Against that Rams ferocious front seven, I think he might, burst under pressure, like most time he always does, with all due respect. Yeah, gotta roll with the Rams in this one. Sunday night football coming up shortly. But right before that, we do have a matchup that everyone's probably clamoring for, possibly the matchup of the week, between the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Since they are traveling, I will give it to the home field advantaged team in the Baltimore Ravens in this one. Lamar versus Jalen, Henry versus Barkley. This is a star-studded lineup across the line. I think this one is going to be pretty much one in the trenches. Which O-line is going to have less penalty on themselves and keep their quarterback healthier and upright? I think in the passing game, it might be better for the Eagles, offensive line-wise, but in the run game, I think the toughness of the AFC North, I think they bring that. Not that Philadelphia is not tough or anything, but for this one, I think Baltimore is more desperate to win this game than Philadelphia is. They're on their win streak. What better way for Baltimore to kind of reset, get focused, and get right back into it for the playoffs with a matchup of this magnitude? I think without Brandon Graham, his leadership, his plays, the defense is kind of be, lacking something, a little spark here there between the leadership and the actual play itself. But man, the weapons in this matchup, it is going to be absolutely asinine to watch. Last but not least, let's get right down to business. Sunday night football, Niners traveling from the West Coast and the beautiful sun to a snowstorm in the Eastern Conference, the Eastern time zone, the other side. But in this one, we have to roll with the Bills. Why? Because they know their weather, they know their stadium, they know their fans. This is probably one of their more fun games for them. Meanwhile, the last time any of those Niner fans, team, players, staff, anytime they last probably saw snow was back in college for them, or if they did play years ago in the snow. Other than that, most don't even know if they're going to get the right cleats. I don't think Kyle Shanahan has this under control. No Bosa, no Trent, so they don't have any sort of advantage in the trenches. I do believe Aaron Banks might be out in this game as a right guard. That's already too tough of a matchup. Christian McCaffrey's kind of getting back. He hasn't even had a 100-yard game just about yet. Deebo Samuel, hit or miss this season. I don't know. Where's the advantage of this mighty Niners that we have grown to know? George Kittle's playing hurt. Fred Warner's playing hurt. Sorry, Niners. I think this might, be the nail in the coffin for this dynasty or this run that you guys had. Kind of like your 2010s run with NaVar Bowman and Patrick Willis. I think it might just go, unanswered.